Well, fans camping out. It's billed as the Woodstock of fitness. The CrossFit Games here at the Alliant Energy Center campus in Madison, Wisconsin, as the day winding down outside. But we are inside the Coliseum at the Alliant Center, and the fans continuing to file in here for Saturday evening into Saturday night. It's team event 9. We're getting ready for heat number 3 of the BiCouplet relay. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside Chase Ingram. We'll be joined in a moment by Amanda Krenz on the competition floor. And Chase, as CrossFitters, we love couplets.
Yeah, we do. And the rep scheme of the old 21-15-9, even better. For some, it's a little 12-9-6 for coupling snatches from the ground to overhead to chest to bar pull-ups. Up in the weight, snatches again to bar muscle-ups. Individual relay, one after the other. Fastest time wins.
See what team usually works well together. Now we're going to see how they strategize in this one. And Torrance CrossFit has been kind of up and down this week. They are in lane number 5. They're trying to break back into the top 10 before the final day tomorrow. We talk about this event, playing to your strengths and a chance to let your individual shines. Amanda Krenz on the competition floor. And Amanda, a chance to see these individuals.
Absolutely, Jeff. And think about the events we've seen this far. We've had the synchro worm, and we've seen the teams move in sync with each other. And we've seen teams work together on that big sleigh out in the middle of the water. This is going to be a chance for them to show off what they can do individually. Sounds like a lot of fun for some of them. It's also a lot more work for each and every one of them.
Much Amanda, as Amanda Krenz joining us on the competition floor. And we'll start it off with the first females. 21-15-9. They'll go 55-pound snatches, then to the chest to bar pull-ups. Here, this is heat number 3. Heat number 3 of 4. And Chase is, not just because it's individuals, we've seen it when they've had to do synchronized movements or work all together at once. In an event like this, even though the individuals go fast, the teams that start out maybe a little slower here in their first couplets sometimes are the ones that creep along throughout the 4 couplets.
I mean, we saw them in the last heat with CrossFit Raw. Now, they didn't end up winning the event in total, but they snuck past everybody towards the end. And I think, you know, we have this relay style. We want teams to race each other as fast as they can. But as an individual, you do have to understand your abilities as an athlete versus your desires as, you know, what you want to be and who you really are. And if that is unbroken all the way through, great, do it, showcase yourself on the biggest stage. If not, don't try to do that and end up embarrassing yourself on the biggest stage. So this rep scheme and these movements aren't foreign, so these athletes should really understand what they are capable or not capable of doing.
Right side of your screen, the split screen, that's Jamie Hagia, an individual games vet. She is leading this Torrance CrossFit team out of Torrance, California, as well as Chelsea Grigsby and their males, Andrew Kong, Ted Wang. They did really nice in that snatch event yesterday, and now they'll be in for the couplet. And Hagia is used to being out here alone, letting her skills shine as a former individual competitor.
I mean, that's one heck of an athlete to lead off with when you're talking CrossFit Torrance and Jamie Hagia, especially when you couple things like barbell cycling and chest to bar pull-ups. She's almost perfectly, you know, constructed for this particular couplet.
Her athletic background, a veteran collegiate, and actually played some pro basketball as well. Now a well-known CrossFit Games athlete. Little trouble there. CrossFit Billings breaks up that first set of 21 pull-ups. Not the worst idea. As you mentioned, you would have come back later on and try to stay unbroken for CrossFit Billings. That's going to be Ashley Schaefer. Ashley Schaefer will be the first female for CrossFit Billings. Almost looks like she's looking back at her teammates. May have a rep scheme. They may be just double checking, saying, don't push it. I know you feel good, but here's what we had on the plan.
Well, another thing to athlete Schaefer is that, you know, she's likes pull-ups, but she's a full-time mom, and I mean full-time mom. She has 4 kids, and she's out there looking like a 16-year-old just doing pull-ups all over the place. And I think it's the coolest thing about, you know, this CrossFit competition and CrossFit in general is this longevity of the sport and health and fitness. But CrossFit Billings You know, we said this is the, I mean, I don't want to label them the Masters team. That's not an insult to you guys, but like I said, 12 kids collectively through 4 teammates, and they're out here kicking butt on the biggest stage.
You mentioned being the oldest team at 34 years of age. We'll see Yuri Hansen later on. He looks like he's okay after sprinting the assault bike earlier today, but he actually is a podium finisher a year ago in that 40 to 44-year-old Masters division. It's Ashley Schaefer's time to shine right now. Yuri was that male in the back, but Torrance maintains a 21-rep lead. Jamie Agia setting a blistering pace as a lead athlete, as the first female for Torrance CrossFit. Reebok CrossFit Frankston now moving in to second place. So they've already got their first male on at 21:59 for Torrance on the left side of your screen. That's going to be Ted Wang, who's been an individual vet in regional competition now on Torrance's team. There's Rob Forte, very well known in the CrossFit community, on the right side of your screen. Multiple-time individual veteran.
That's a pretty good guy to lead off from the men's side for your team. What do you say?
He knows what he's doing. He has his Reebok CrossFit Frankston team here out of Carrum Downs, Australia. 7 times we've seen him individually. Had a high finish of 12th in 2014. He's just a great ambassador, not only just for the sport, but the community of CrossFit.
You know, I said it's like, hey, be wary of going unbroken in the beginning so you can hang on towards the end. I'm not going to tell Rob to do that. Rob can do whatever he wants to do. I think he knows exactly what he's capable of and exactly what rep scheme he needs to do to keep his team in it in this heat.
When we talk about the CrossFitters in Australia, of course, Portia, Claire Toomey, Carl Webb, the podium finishers. But as far as the males go, when you think of male CrossFitters, especially the games athletes coming out of Australia, I think you think of Rob Forte and Con Porter. They're the guys that maybe set the table for what will come in the future.
Right, especially Rob Forte, like 7 times games athlete. I mean, this guy set the stage for the path that a lot of these Australian athletes are now walking.
So Torrance CrossFit again, a 21-rep lead. Kilo's got the time to beat at 16:27, and Invictus had a 16:51. Again, those are the only 2 teams that have gone sub 17 minutes. Back to Ted Wang from Torrance CrossFit. I believe this is going to be his final pull-up, so he's got the round of 9 to go. He'll roll the barbell forward. So Torrance on the left, and that's Rob Forte with the Reebok CrossFit Frankston on the right side of your screen. Top 2 teams right now here in heat number 3 trying to beat 16:27. CrossFit Billings now has their male on the right side of your screen. So Ashley Schaefer has completed her 21:15.9, and they turn it over now to the guys for 21:15.9, Mac Unruh. And Unruh gave a little sprint as well. Both Yuri and Mac decided to sprint that assault bike.
Yeah, they did, and to their credit, they did very well at it. Now, the benefit here is that, you know, Mac's a bigger guy, 5'11", 200. That should be a light barbell for him. But he also loves pull-ups at the same time, so that's one of those athletes you do want leading off in these higher rep schemes and lighter weights.
Torrance CrossFit, meanwhile, is starting their 12.96. Chelsea Grigsby, middle of your screen, the only one on the middle to the left side of your screen. The second female now, and she has been kind of that bubble athlete in the regionals, hasn't punched through as an individual, but she is a 3-time fittest firefighter in the world, and has been a contender in the regionals.
Well, I think one thing to reestablish, as we said before, is that the men at the front part of this event on the 21:15.9 are using 85 pounds for the power snatches. On the second half, the women are using 85 pounds for the power snatches. And I think that's the coolest part about some of this event, is that you have athletes using the same weights and competing at the same level together.
Chelsea, also a softball player, played her collegiate softball at Western Oregon. On the left side of your screen as her teammates cheer on the right split screen. 22-rep lead. Torrance, boy, you talk about getting a home run hitter out quickly with Jamie Hygia. They have maintained this huge lead over Reebok, CrossFit, Frankston, and the rest of the field.
Well, I really like that move that Chelsea did. If she saw after she took that break in the round of 12, is that she took her weight belt off. With bar muscle-ups, that weight belt just ends up being a pain because of where you land on the bar. So she took a quick break, removed the belt. She doesn't need it for power snatches. She's a strong athlete. She can handle the weight. But to take that off to make the bar muscle-ups easier was a very savvy move by Chelsea.
So here is the second female for Reebok, CrossFit, Frankston on the right side. Sarah Drain, a Games veteran, on the right. She is in the black top and the blue pants, walking forward in lane number 2.
Let's see how much time that Rob made up for his team when it was his turn to go.
Again, this is the couple of 12, 9, and 6. If Torrance keeps up their time, they should shatter that time to beat of 16:27.
Well, Grigsby is already back on the rig.
Billings, your third place team, now on the right split screen. Here comes Grigsby with Torrance CrossFit left split screen. They are the current leader. Billings out of the west. 18-rep lead over Frankston. That's for Torrance CrossFit left side. Chelsea Grigsby.
Now she's done with 9, so moving into the round of 6 and keeping your eye on the clock, coming up to 10 minutes, just 6 reps left to go. Now she's been cycling that bar for the last 12 and 9, but as your grip starts to go and fatigue starts to set in, I like the quick singles in the round of 6, maybe some touch and goes on the earlier one, but to allow yourself a little bit of a reprieve on the grip before you go back to those last 6 bar muscle ups.
Top 5 teams so far through 2 heats, Kilo and Invictus, the only 2 teams sub 17. Raw was 17:24. You see the times really expand to 17:34 for Hustle Hard. Kate did it in 17:46. So if you can get it done in under 18, you're doing well. If you can go sub 17, you're going to have a top 5 coming out of this, unless a lot of teams go sub 17.
At least for 3 heats. Got a couple of good teams coming up in heat number 4.
Torrance CrossFit, 231 reps in, 18-rep lead over Frankston, 19-rep lead over Billings.
You can see that chicken winging on the left side. And what that means is one arm will wing over the bar before the other one comes through. And I said before, that's just a sign of fatigue and grip failure. For her, good for Chelsea. She's able to hang on.
Hope Cicero, right side of your screen. That is CrossFit Billings. They are now in 4th place here in the heat. Trailing Torrance, Reebok, CrossFit, Frankston, and Athletic. Now Billings. Hope Cicero's got him back up in a 3rd place. This is the final couplet here for Torrance CrossFit. Now it's going to be Andrew Kong to do the 12, 9, and 6. And looking to beat 16:27. I don't believe they'll have any issue beating it.
Well,
could be wrong.
We'll have to see how the grip holds up and if he chose a good rep scheme. But what I like that Andrew did is that Andrew's a strong athlete. He knows that. But he didn't let that kind of get in the way of what a smart plan would be. And what you need is a lot of grip for these bar muscle-ups. When you're talking about 12, 9, and 6, that's a lot of reps to throw in there, especially coupled with a heavy snatch. So what he did is he broke it up, being smart on the snatches, and allow him to be a bit more strong and confident moving to the bar muscle-ups.
So I have a little over 4 minutes, and he's got to finish up the rounds of 9 and 6. So he's got 30 total reps to finish here.
And when you come to this last section of the 12, 9, and 6 of snatches and bar muscle-ups, singles on heavy snatches take less time than singles on bar muscle-ups. So it's more beneficial to break on snatch than it does on the pull-up rig. And I like what Andrew's doing is taking breaks, allowing himself to take a short reset. Only because all you have to do is drop a bar and pick up a bar. If you're on the pull-up rig, you have to come down from the bar, you got to reset your feet, you got to reset your kip, and then get into the movement. So breaking up more on snatches if you have to is more beneficial than doing it on the pull-up rig.
Interesting, left side of your screen, that's Torrance CrossFit, Chelsea Crigsby being the cheerleader. It looks like Jamie Hagia being the more calming influence. I've been in these games before as an individual. Don't get in too big of a rush.
So the set of 9 on the bar muscle-ups is a big challenge for all of these teams, right? It was the middle round of 15 on snatches and pull-ups in the first half of this event. This round of 9, not just the snatches, but especially the bar muscle-ups, is what's going to make or break the teams between first and 10th. This is going to come down to seconds when you get this last heat in there. This is just heat 3 of 4. We got 10 good pipe-hitting teams coming up in heat number 4.
Final mail for Billings in the right split screen. Meanwhile, that's Torrance, your leader, on the left side of your screen. Reebok CrossFit Frankston still wedged in there between Billings and Torrance in second place, 28 reps behind. You talk about the sport of fitness. Rob Forte, we talked about a veteran 7-time individual. Here is Jake Crouch, who a year ago was in the 16 to 17 male division, in the teenage division. Now he's moving up with the grown-ups here in team competition and holding his own, more than holding his own. How'd you like that, to be a teenager and go, hey, you're going to buddy up, be Rob Forte's partner this year?
Oh, yeah. I mean, what an exciting, spot to be in for these guys.
14.5 minutes, so they got 2 minutes here to wrap this thing up. Torrance does for the time to beat. They still have about 4.5 minutes before the time cap of 19 minutes.
Can Andrew hang on for this last set of 6, or at least only have to break 1 time? And it's going to be close. That's 4 reps. You can see that right arm starting to slow down on that turnover.
Well, he is on the finish mat. Here comes the chip timer. They go sub 15. 90 seconds quicker. A minute 29 quicker than Kilo. So they get it done in 14:58.51. So now the race between Frankston and Invictus Back Bay. They are separated by 4 reps. Melbourne jumping in there. But it's Frankston trying to maintain the lead, but Invictus Back Bay closing the gap. CrossFit Frankston, left side of your screen. That's Billings still on the right side. They've been in and out, trying to catch Torrance, but Torrance just had that huge lead by Hagia, and Billings unable to really catch Frankston here. Let's see what happens. Frankston still trading reps with CrossFit Invictus Back Bay. Less than 3 minutes to the 19-minute time cap. Here is Yuri Hansen. Again, a Masters podium finisher a season ago, 3rd place in the 40 to 44-year-old division. Now his teammates cheering him on from behind. And they're right behind Back Bay. And here's Frankston, right side of your screen. Jim Crouch, the former team competitor, right side in that light blue shirt. Oh, and just couldn't turn it over that time. Yuri tried to get that right arm, and in the top of your screen, lane 2, Reebok CrossFit Frankston in at 17:06. Lane 6, CrossFit Invictus Back Bay has now made their way onto the finish mat. So Kilo and Invictus are going to remain second and third with one heat remaining, with Torrance blistering the time to beat at 14:58. Lane 7, Max Poles will come in at 17 and a half minutes. Minute 20 remaining. That's going to be CrossFit Melbourne. Melbourne, a heat winner today. In the swim run, lane 10, bottom of your screen, CrossFit Fabriket out of Sweden will finish in 17:58. So less than a minute to go to the 19-minute time cap.
I mean, I think this event is posing to be more challenging than people think. Here's kind of what the only reason I'm not laughing because he's in a lot of pain. I'm just laughing that the individuals have to do both parts later this afternoon.
There you go. CrossFit Athletic is in lane 3. Lane 1, CrossFit Queens finishes up. We have about 30 seconds remaining to the time cap. This is an event with the individuals. I think I would just rather go first than watch the rest of you suffer for your couplets.
Well, I think looking at it, I hope you guys voted for heavy first, because I don't think people are going to be hanging on to the barbell if heavy has to go second. Do the individuals a failure. Heavy one first.
Trying to wrap it up in the next 5 seconds. Salt Lake City CrossFit Black in lane number 9, and Billings got out to a hot start. They faded a little bit near the end, but it's Torch CrossFit. They got out hot and they stayed hot for all 4 couplets.
And that was, that's what we were hoping to see Torrance do. We've been talking about them on the way in as they may be a rookie team, but they don't have inexperience on their team in terms of individual competitors, but as a team, it takes some time to meld and gel together, which they haven't quite found yet. So no surprise in an individual style event like this one, Torrance CrossFit shines, setting the new time to beat, getting led off by Jamie Higiat, followed by Teddy Wang. Did well, good breaking up, but then Rob Forte got to the bar and he started putting Frankston back into the mix to move up to challenge Back Bay. Or not Back Bay, I'm sorry, Torrance. Eddie Kong, smart breaks up towards the end, saving his grip for this, the last set of 6. I'll tell you, half of those reps were a lot of maybes, but he made it happen. First place finish for CrossFit Torrance.
Slides in for the sub 15. Here are your top 10 times now through 3 heats. Torrance CrossFit, the only sub 15, 3 teams sub 17, but Torrance CrossFit set a very tough time. That's a heat 4 time at 14:58. And we'll see what these final 10 teams, the top 10 teams coming into the day, will put up here in heat number 4. So 3 heats are complete of event number 9 for team competition, the final event for moving day on Saturday. Heat 4 coming up momentarily from the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games. In the shadows of the Capitol building in Madison, Wisconsin, it is the final event of Saturday, moving day at the CrossFit Games at the Alliant Energy Center campus inside the Coliseum. The spotlights are on. The stands are full here to watch the top 10 teams. Heat number 4 of event number 9. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside Chase Ingram. We'll be joined later on the floor by Amanda Krenz. And we've seen it 3 times already. A lot of strategy goes in this when you play individuals on teams.
Well, Jeff, like you said, we've had a lot of team competition over the last 3 days coming into the final event. This is a very individual event for the teams. It's a time for your individual athletes to shine with these couplets between snatches and chest to bar pull-ups, snatches and bar muscle-ups. That weight getting heavier on the second half.
That's what they have ahead of them. 4 separate couplets here in the team BiCouplet relay. You'll see the rig that looms ahead for these teams to make it through. And there's Rich Froning and his CrossFit Mayhem Freedom team. A huge lead in first place, and barring a disaster, looking to take home a 3rd affiliate cup. But it's been fun to watch not only Mayhem Freedom, but next to him in lane 6, Mayhem Independence. Even though Mayhem Independence has had a couple of not so good event finishes, they've been going back and forth as far as the in-affiliate rivalry.
Well, we were kind of doing the math, and I'm sure they're doing the math at home as well, but Mayhem Freedom has won 4 times over Independence, and Independence has won 4 over Freedom. So they're splitting the difference on event wins between their 2 teams.
So there is Mayhem Independence, who came through big today out at the stadium on the Bob. Kristen Miller is going to start things out for Independence, a former OC3 member. Here we go. 21-15-9, 55-pound snatches and chest to bar pull-ups.
Now, the one thing you need to be on this first part is fast. The other thing you need to be is efficient. All right, so if you're going to muscle snatch, look at Rachel Garibay. My goodness. I think she's making up for the swim on this one. That is just pure speed, power, and just muscle snatching that, well, I haven't seen since we got on the floor. We might not see at the stage on the individuals, but that efficiency, she kept the bar close. She was using her legs to move the bar and a lot of pull, but she did that because she could. I'd like to see if she can hang on to that for the 15 and 9.
I think this BiCouplet relay, Chase, could be a microcosm of what we expected and what we have seen of Don't Stop. They're either going to blow up and blow everyone away, or it could be a complete bust. They are just going to lay the hammer down, and that's what it looks like.
I mean, we can call Don't Stop the Ricky Bobbies of the CrossFit Games if you want to, either your first or your last, and that's kind of how it's been for this team. But what do we always say about Don't Stop? They have a great resume of individual competitors. Now, Garibay is the only one that hasn't been to the games individually, but I think she could have made it had she had gone individual at the regionals this year. But you got Travis Williams, Jordan Cook, Sheila Barton, all these athletes. If I put 2 couplets together with snatches and chest bar pulls and bar muscle ups, it's a pretty good thing to set them up with. Now, they got to capitalize here. They may not be in contention for first, but they're still in contention for a podium spot.
Well, Garibay again knocks out the 15 snatches. She'll make her way back. Don't Stop with a 1-rep lead over 417 and 7-rep lead over Mayhem Freedom. 7th in the open for Rachel Garibay on the left side of your screen in the CrossFit War. 417 now on the right side. They are 2 reps behind. Garibay breaks, a chance for 417 to catch up, and they will take a 2-rep lead over Don't Stop.
Yeah, and that's the grip. You see on Garibay that slower pull, that slow drop. Right? If you want to see an athlete who's losing their grip, they will actually drop slower into their next rep than they will if they're confident in it.
Bailey Rail for 417 made up the ground and now put them in the lead over Don't Stop here. Mayhem Freedom 9 reps behind, but we've seen that out of Rich Froning early in these events, hanging around 3rd, 4th, 5th, and slowly he creeps up, or his Mayhem Freedom team will creep up throughout the event.
I wouldn't be surprised if he imparts that knowledge onto his athletes. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. He said that a lot. See, breaking the rep 9 and getting a no rep. That's a rough one for Garibay on the left. Barber on the right side of your screen, and she's breaking again. And, that's when, some coming out a little too hot, most likely. I mean, you don't see someone break more than 3 times in the round of 9, and you know that's just the product of speed. When you think about it, it's just trying to go fast.
She'll give way to Travis Williams on the left side as Lindy Barber tries to wrap it up here on the right side of your screen for Mayhem Freedom, who's 14 reps behind CrossFit 417, who has the lead. They took it away from Don't Stop. Travis Williams there, the shirtless male on the right side, upper right side of your screen. He is on for his set of 21-15-9.
Now, if you're like, hey, Chase, do you want to bet that Travis Williams is going to get a try go unbroken? I'm like, no, I don't want to bet that. Of course he's going to try to go unbroken. But you're going to look at Travis Williams, that he's done Isabel, which is 30 power snatches for time at 135, unbroken. So I know he has the grip to do the snatches, but that coupling of chest to bar pull-ups is a different challenge.
Well, he's wrapped up his 21 snatches. He is on to the rig for his 21 chest to bar pull-ups. Well, your Mayhem teams on the round of 21 for the males. Looks like that's Matt Hewitt making his walk forward.
Yeah, you have Matt Hewitt from Mayhem Freedom. You know, another one of those athletes that are just so good and has sat on the team, just making, you know, kind of that, you know, they talk about like the glue that holds the team together. And that's usually given to an athlete that's not the best one, but he is. He's also both good and keeps that team together.
417 maintains the lead. Tyler Christopher, a football, baseball background at Southwest Baptist. The first male to go 21-15-9 on the left. And you see Travis Williams for Don't Stop on the right side. He's in the round of 15. Don't Stop. Well, they're tied for reps as they walk to the pull-up bar. And let's see who's going to cycle through the pull-ups quicker in the round of 15. And slowly Matt Hewitt and Mayhem Freedom closing into about 10 to 12 reps. As Hewitt back to his round of 15 snatches.
Hewitt in the center lane. He's on Mayhem Freedom, holding it down for their second place athlete, Ted Starkweather, to his right. And I kind of hope it's really close, because I wouldn't mind seeing Rich go against Darren as cousins and buddies and brothers and teammates and competitors. That'd be a fun thing to see towards the end for both those Mayhem teams.
And you've got veteran versus rookie in the white shirt, middle lane, doing the pull-ups. That is Matt Hewitt, as you mentioned. Interesting story, saw in one of their videos, Ted Starkweather. He was just the guy at the affiliate working out, one of the better guys, and Rich invited him, hey, come out to, you know, the barn. That's where the comp team practices. That's where the two Mayhem teams come out to the barn, work out with us a little. And, you know, Rich was kind of doing a little scouting, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, how'd you like to be on this second team I'm putting together?
That's that golden ticket you find in the chocolate bar, is the old barn invite.
Don't Stop has gone back into first place over 417 by 4 reps. Mayhem Freedom still hanging in there at third place. Sheila Barton, left side of your screen for Don't Stop. And she's going to do the heavier barbell, the 12, 9, and 6. So it's an 85-pound barbell on the 12, 9, 6 for the females. Lane 9, 417, right side of your screen. Now we'll switch it up here and look at Tasia for 7. She will do the 12, 9, 6 for Mayhem Freedom on the right side of your screen. Barton already the pull-ups on the left side for Don't Stop.
And she did a lot of reps in a row on that heavier barbell for the 85. And you see Don't Stop on the left, holding off Mayhem Freedom, but 417 still in second place overall in this heat over in lane number 9.
You know, that's not a bad spot to be, Chase. You know, the athlete's not working for Don't Stop, peeking down there, checking on Mayhem checking down on Don't Stop, probably Independence, and 417 can go, good, no one's watching us, we're just going to do our thing.
And that might very well be what happens. We saw it happen in some previous heats. We're looking at two of the teams. One sneaks up right in the middle between them.
417, 3-rep lead over Don't Stop, 7-rep lead over Mayhem Freedom.
And Jeff, as you just said, bottom part of your screen in lane number 9, 417 has now moved into first overall.
417 left side of your screen with a 2-rep lead over Sheila Barton and Don't Stop, who is on the right split screen. Checking in on Mayhem Freedom right side. That's Tasia Persevich. She'll move the barbell forward. Should be getting into a round of 15 snatches. Meanwhile, 417 working on the left side. Those are your leaders in lane number 9 out of Ozark, Missouri.
I believe that's Christine Colbrander. You know, here's two things she likes. She loves snatching, and she's an ex-level 10 gymnast. That, to me, and, you know, I'm not the professional here in terms of, you know, analyzing. That's a pretty good person to put last on your team. Ex-level 10 gymnast and someone who absolutely loves snatching.
They're all chasing Torrance CrossFit in Heat 3. They set the time to beat at 14:58. The only team that went sub-15. There's only been 3 teams, including Kilo and Invictus, that have gone sub-17 here through the first 3 heats.
What I like that Christine's doing is taking a good break. Sheila Barton on the right. Look at how smooth Christine is on the left. Watch her rest at the top just a little bit. See that lean forward? What that does is it just allows you to get your breath for a second, but takes the pressure off your hands for a little bit as well, because the sneaky part is that if you lean forward, those hips take the load off your hands. So it just gives you a little bit of a break.
Set of 6, final 6 snatches. And then it will be her final 6 bar muscle ups, which I would say are a strength, but she's rolling through these snatches pretty well also.
I don't think we've seen anybody up to this point go unbroken on the last set of 6 snatches on either the men's or the women's side.
This 417 team in the final heat here today. They were 12th a year ago. Would like to finish with a top 10 this season and improve on their finish a season ago. Meanwhile, right side of your screen, Sheila Barton on her final 6 snatches. And the way that Christine Colbrander on the left side is doing these bar muscle ups, this lead just expanding. And now their final male is going to get on here for 417 at the bottom of your screen in the pink top and the blue bottoms.
That's not a good male to end with.
Nope.
Jared Stevens is one of the stronger athletes in the field. Now you're in the lead. You got a decent edge on the rest of the competitors on the floor. Although Rich Froning just stepped up to the barbell for Mayhem Freedom, and don't let that put you out of your game plan. You don't need to hang on to the barbell to try to beat him.
Good thing
but you are going to have to try a little bit harder.
Good thing for 417. Jared's been a veteran on team competition, but still you have the greatest of all time over to your right in Rich Froning. But he's been in the arena. But as we talked about earlier, Mayhem Freedom was 3rd, 4th, 5th. Prepped their way up to 2nd. Don't stop falling off the pace.
So Rich on the right side of your screen took a break in the round of 12. Usually it's about a 7-5. He kind of likes to break things up like that. But where did I say the event was won? On the second half of this. The bar muscle ups. Taking a break on snatches is not nearly as big of an issue as breaking on bar muscle.
And Rich Froning cycling through the bar muscle-ups. Jared Stevens not doing bad himself on the left side, but Froning a little bit smoother. See how much ground he can make up on Jared Stevens, who's back to the barbell into the set of 9. That's the 4th for Jared Stevens. So he's got 5 of the 9 in. He'll break just over halfway through.
And it's a smart move. I think a lot of other athletes who are inexperienced might panic with Rich behind them, maybe trying to go unbroken in 9. I'd be curious to see what Rich does. He broke up his set of 12 in 2 sets. I'll see what he does in the round of 9.
Jared Stevens on his way, left side of the screen. CrossFit 417. Set of 9 bar muscle ups. Rich Froning will break. Pick the barbell back up quickly on the right side.
Rich also broke in 5. Stevens will break on the bar muscle ups just to kind of reassess and get some chalk. And not a bad idea. With that window starting to close, he's going to have to get back up there.
Well, he took time for chalk. Froning just stripped the shirt off and went right to the bar. You're looking at about 3-rep difference here. Jared Stevens will break. Froning continuing to cycle through in the middle of your screen.
Someone's not going to break to try to get his team another win. It's going to be Rich Froning.
So they're even. Back and forth. Froning cycled through the bar muscle ups quicker, and here's Mayhem Freedom as Stevens has a break again on the left. Now it's just 6 and 6 for Rich Froning in CrossFit Mayhem Freedom. Froning breaks on the right. Let's see if Stevens can hang on. He'll break after 3. Froning on his way back, calling for the crowd. Crowd rises to their feet in a packed Alliant Energy Center Coliseum. Ryan, listen to this crowd when Mayhem Freedom runs or walks their way to yet another event win to add to their record. A minute 11 seconds faster than Torrance CrossFit. Meanwhile, Jared Stevens, left side of your screen, trying to finish things up. Back on the set of 6 snatches, Jared Cook for Don't Stop on the right side. Now here comes 417. Gave Freedom a run for their money until they got into the set of 9 on the snatches and the bar muscle ups, and that's when Rich Froning took over.
Yeah, well, you know,
we've seen it before.
Yeah, it's okay, Jared. It's happened to a lot of people before you. It'll happen to a lot of people after you. But it's a good effort on both sides. I mean, you got to think it's concerned breaks, very deliberate. 7-5, 5-4, 3-3, unbroken on the bar. That's the way to approach this event in terms of its pieces.
Rachel Garibay, Sheila Barden, Travis Williams waiting for Jordan Cook to finish up. He does. He races to the mat. They'll be done in 14:51, which is not bad. I believe that's going to be 3rd overall in the event. They finish ahead of Torrance CrossFit's 14:58. So it will be Mayhem Freedom, 417 and Don't Stop. CrossFit Invictus X, Sam Dancer. Invictus X right in contention for a podium spot. 19-minute time cap, 3.5 minutes remaining. Meanwhile, Seoul Miami got into the bottom of your screen at 15:29. OC3. Again, this is a team that's been in the top 10. They've been hanging around, looking for this OC3 team to finally break through and get their podium spot. They have shown the potential to do it the last 2 seasons.
I mean, they have the ability, they have the athletes. It's just kind of putting it all together.
Lane 7 there in the Army green top, black shorts. That's OC3, and that's Spam Independence off to the left of your screen. Darren Hunsucker and Independence will get in. So now it's going to be 5-4 Mayhem Freedom over Independence in the head-to-head competition. Meanwhile, some teams still struggling. Pro 1 way behind. 13:47. Mayhem Freedom came in today with 15 event wins. Coming to Saturday, add another one to the tally. The next closest team was Ute with 10. Here's lane 2. That is CrossFit Pro 1.
And, you know, we got so caught up in the front part of the race, and Pro 1 is still on their second female athletes round, and, you know, they're can't really tell exactly what's going on over there or what the issue is in holding them up.
Sam Dancer and Invictus X are in. CrossFit Balance out of the Atlantic Regional. He'll wrap it up in lane number 4. So Reebok CrossFit 1 still out on the floor. There's Spencer Hendel in the white shorts to your left. They have a little less than a minute and a half, about a minute 20 to get in under the 19-minute time cap. And Reebok CrossFit 1, the team with 2 individual veterans, Spencer Hendel, Asa Maliolo. They've been a little up and down. They've shown some flashes. They've struggled in a few events as well. They still have a few events remaining tomorrow. We're still waiting to see how many events we'll have on Sunday 14 competition. Less than a minute remaining. Trying to lock it up, and he will. And Reebok CrossFit 1 will be in under the time cap at 18:24. So the final team on the floor, CrossFit Pro 1. Well, your top three finishers: Mayhem Freedom, 417, and Don't Stop. 15 seconds remain. And the second tick off the clock, and Pro 1 will be time capped. But 9 of the 10 teams get in under the cap, including yet another event win for CrossFit Mayhem Freedom. 16th extends their all-time record.
They keep doing it, and I have a feeling they're going to keep doing it as we close out day 3 for the teams and move into day number 4. But right off the bat, Rachel Garibay, just the fastest muscle snatches at 55 I've ever seen, but ended up falling off the pace a little bit towards the end. But then 417 took charge when Christine Colbrander took over. Tasia Persevich trying to keep pace, but what Christine was able to do was give 417 the lead going into the end. But the problem was Mayhem had, a good trump card to play out there for their team. The old 4-time individual, 2-time team champ captain Rich Froning, and it was just smooth and methodical. He just even breaks on the snatches, unbroken on the bar muscle-ups, and this is what his last leg was like. Just walking through the whole part, 12, 9, 6, first.
You got to clean up here. You got to let him hit cleanup. That's exactly what Rich Froning did. And again, another event win. They are with Amanda Krenz.
Shut up, Dave.
It takes a few seconds to get Rich Froning for an interview because he's got a few fans around here who want to spend some time with him. Rich, tell me first of all about that race at the end. I know you were looking over at Jared Stevens from 417. What was going through your mind?
Jared's a good dude, good friend of ours. You always want to beat, doesn't matter who it is, but especially when it's a friend. So it was just kind of, it was cool to have the crowd interaction, listen to everything that was going on, and just try to push and try to catch him.
So this event is really going to showcase the individual athletes on your team. It's sort of different than the ones we've seen so far in the 2018 CrossFit Games. So Lindy, I'll ask you, what is your guys' confidence level coming into an event like this where your individuals can really shine?
Well, it's super fun. So when we do training all throughout the year, we do a whole bunch of team stuff, but we don't neglect the individual workouts either. So it's almost fun for us to get a chance to also show what we can do as individuals, compete again as individuals. We've all competed as individuals before, so it's fun to kind of get that opportunity every now and then.
I assume you guys, because I know you're far out in the lead here, but I'm assuming you're not going to relax. There's a whole nother day of competition left. So what does CrossFit Mayhem Freedom go home and do tonight?
Same thing we've done every night. Make sure we eat, make sure we get some rest. If we can find an ice bath or something like that, I'm going to sit in that. But just recover and get ready for day, 5, 4, whatever we're on.
One of those. Good luck to you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Well, you might not know which day it is. It's going to be Championship Sunday. It's what it's going to be for CrossFit Mayhem Freedom and Rich Froning as they log another event win. So they will have another 100 points in the pocket. We'll wait and see what all we have for Sunday. But here is the final from event number 9, Mayhem Freedom, 13:47.13. They got ahead of 417 in the last couplet. It was Don't Stop. Torch CrossFit, a top 5. They came out of heat number 3. May get themselves